Right now this morning, the Trump administration set to reach the 100-day mark this week. We'll have a look back ahead.
High severe potential today as we get into the local forecast. We'll have that going through the late morning hours, then back again as we go into the evening. More about that in just a moment.
Why knee pain is America's growing health crisis. Dr. Norgaard reveals what's really causing your discomfort on this Mindful Monday.
This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Monday, April 28th, and maybe a little bit of discomfort in the forecast this morning also, right?
It is indeed. Do I look like I'm smiling here? I know, right?
Monday morning, what else can we expect?
Yeah, let me give you a view of what's happening out there right now as we get into it. First, we go back to how this all shapes up. What we're looking for, we've got damaging wind. We're going to see winds getting up 55 miles per hour, plus in some cases, large hail also associated with this. We could possibly see hail up to about an inch, maybe a little bit wider. We're also getting up to maybe some tornadoes also moving through the forecast area. So it's also showing that what we've got going on, the potential for the storm activity is somewhat a lot of folks haven't seen in quite some time. So this is possibly one of those times that it can either go away, it can either occur, or half of it could occur. I don't want you to let your guard down. As we go through the early morning, scattered showers up along I-94. I've changed this again for the second time. Mid to late morning hours, we've got showers coming in. They're going to be widespread. They're going to be moving through the area. They'll have a lower risk of severe weather, but they will, in fact, be pushing through the area, and it will be tough. We could see those damaging winds, as I mentioned before, even coming in a little bit sooner. We'll also see as we go through the PM hours, we take a bit of a break, I should say, or at least a less chance of shower activity working through the forecast area. We'll call it that. In the evening and night, we've got severe weather on the way. That's a look at what's going on. You can see as we get into it, the bullseye is right on top of us. That carries over, bring it even closer. You have a moderate risk for severe weather. This is something we have not seen in quite some time. Also, we've got an enhanced risk on the outer ring there in the orange. So when I come back, I'll have a better overview of how this all shapes up just to get you safe through the day. So please stick around.
All right, Art, we will be watching for that. Thank you. And right now this morning, the Trump administration set to reach that 100-day mark. I think that's the story we're going into. Teleprompter is a little bit behind here. Not sure. Anything from the producers? All right, well, we will get to Naomi Ruckham now.
As President Trump marks his 100th day in office, new CBS News polls show his approval ratings have dipped since early February. A key sticking point, the president's trade war.
The good news is costs are way down, groceries are down, it's all looking good, the tariffs are strong.
But a majority of Americans say the president is too focused on tariffs and not focused enough on lowering prices. The president gets higher marks on his other top issue, immigration. More than half of those surveyed support his administration's program to deport undocumented immigrants. But more controversy over the weekend. Lawyers for two families say 3 children, all U.S. citizens ages 2, 4, and 7, were deported to Honduras with their mothers Friday morning, following a routine check-in with immigration officials. President Trump met with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky before the Pope's funeral Saturday.
He wants to do something good for his country.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio said yesterday that this is a critical week for the administration to decide whether to continue involvement in peace talks with Russia and Ukraine.
And back to the 3 children deported with their mothers to Honduras. Lawyers for the family say the 4-year-old has a rare form of cancer and was removed from the country without the necessary medication. In those CBS News polls, 81% of Americans said it was not acceptable if legal U.S. residents are deported mistakenly. And investigators say the driver who plowed into a crowd in Vancouver, Canada Saturday night was not terrorism motivated. Viewer discretion is advised for some of this footage you're about to see. Police report 30-year-old Kai G. Adam Lowe drove around nearby barricades before crashing an SUV through the festival, killing 11 in what's now called Vancouver's darkest day. The suspect, later detained, has a significant history of mental health issues.
Community is devastated. The Filipino community, residents of Vancouver, we're heartbroken, we're sad, we're scared, and there's a bit of anger there too.
I know that I join all Canadians in mourning with you. I know that Canadians are united with you.
The suspect has already been charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder, but further charges are expected. One person is dead, 6 injured after a shooting at a North Carolina historically black university. Investigators say the victim, who died at Elizabeth City State University, was a 24-year-old man with no connection to the school. All of the survivors are expected to be okay.
It was scary, for real. Like, I was over there talking to one of my friends and just seeing a lot of people running.
I heard the gunshots through my window and through the walls.
The university says it had just finished a multi-day celebration involving both alumni and students. Classes at Menominee High School will go on as scheduled today, despite a threatening message posted online over the weekend. A female suspect is accused of posting that Friday night. Investigators say she had no weapons and no way to access any. Officials are confident this morning there's no danger to the school district. The suspect could face charges, including making terrorist threats and unlawful use of a phone. 2 train derailments hit the Cooley region this weekend. The first happened Friday night near Gunderson Hospital in La Crosse. BNSF says a locomotive and 1 car carrying corn syrup came off the tracks, but were able to stay upright. No hazardous materials spilled and no one was hurt. Investigators are looking into what caused the derailment. Several rail cars also derailing in Marquette. Yesterday, the rail crossing was closed for several hours as crews worked to fix that. Voices for Recovery is giving a voice to those impacted by addiction. The Cooley Recovery Center's 10th annual fundraiser brought the community together to raise awareness and educate on the challenges of addiction and the power of recovery. This year, guest speaker Mary Beth O'Connor shared her inspiring story of sobriety and highlighted the critical role organizations like the Recovery Center play in supporting those on the path to recovery.
Being able to bring speakers that are absolutely amazing, that can convey how important it is to have an agency like Cooley Recovery Center in a community and how important that is, and maybe how that having a community like ours could have been important to their recovery.
Funds raised at the event will go toward recovery and prevention programs. Cooley Region drivers, be prepared. Stage 1 of the Wisconsin State Route 35 project starts today. The first stage will close WIS 35 between State Routes 27 and 171 till late October. The $12 million project will resurface the road and repair bridges and culverts along WIS 35 between County Road N in Prairie du Chien and County Road E in Ferryville. Western Wisconsin Democrats gathered in La Crosse over the weekend for the 3rd Congressional District Convention. Local officials and candidates discussed the party's future, while county parties took part in some training. The Wisconsin Dems State Convention will be held in June in the Wisconsin Dells. Student artists had their moment in the spotlight Saturday for the 2025 Congressional Art Competition. Every year, high school students in Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District compete for a chance to have their artwork displayed in the U.S. Capitol for a year. The second-place finisher gets their art shown in Representative Derek Van Orden's office.
These young people worked incredibly hard. Their parents have supported them through these projects. Many of the high school art classes within the district also supported their kids to get them out here. It's fantastic. Work hard, you will be rewarded.
A panel of university professors selected the winning pieces, and there were about 35 submissions this year. The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, the Trump administration clashes over union rights, a popular apple juice brand issuing a major recall, and 16 Jo-Ann fabric stores will close in Wisconsin this week.
Electric vehicles are growing in popularity, but charging them isn't always easy depending on where you live. I'm Natalie Brand with a look at some of the roadblocks and advice from EV drivers.
For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. A brand new seal sanctuary has opened in the Netherlands, giving rescued seals like Whitney, a 4-month-old gray seal, a new chance at life. The World Heritage Center is one of the most advanced facilities, treating 200 seals a year, focusing on recovery and prevention. It is a space to not only heal seals, but also educate the public about the Wadden Sea, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call. And look, there's people out there too. This is the city that invented peanut butter and the answering machine. I guess this is one way to see the arch without the lines. St. Louis, Missouri, of course. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming up.
News 8 Now and these proud sponsors honored the top graduating seniors from La Crosse area schools at the Honor Student Banquet. These students are outstanding examples of academic excellence, and we're proud of them and their schools. Congratulations to these and all graduating seniors.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey
to oh my word.
Oh my word. Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes
today a little bit more special.
That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
The results are in for the 2025 Best of La Crosse County. Head to bestoflacrossecounty.com to see the winners in every category. Here's one of the many businesses that won this year.
Presented by River Valley Remodelers.
Pivot!
Shut up.
Pivot!
Shut up. Shut up.
Pivot!
Just like pivoting from heating to cooling season, it's a difficult adjustment.
Pivot in the summer, called TNT.
Pivot!
Shut up.
Welcome to Luther High School. We'd like to give you a glimpse into what your child will experience here. Smaller class sizes, focusing on their needs. Exploration of the arts. Students working together. At Luther High School, you'll find a community building a foundation for the future and a family for life. For more information or to schedule a visit, go to lutherhigh.org or find us on Facebook at We Love Luther.
At Knutson Roofing, we know a cheap roof isn't good, and a good roof isn't cheap. When it comes to protecting your home, don't gamble with the bargain bin. Go with the pros you can trust. Knutson Roofing, over 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Choose the best with no regrets. Call 715-ROOFING today and get a $250 Visa gift card with your completed roof.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
News 8 Now and these proud sponsors honored the top graduating seniors from La Crosse area schools at the Honor Student Banquet. These students are outstanding examples of academic excellence, and we're proud of them and their schools. Congratulations to these and all graduating seniors.
All right, well, good morning to you and welcome back. I want to show you what we have today. Getting into it right now, we'll go into some shower activity that is moving out of the area slowly but surely, but there's more coming back for the late morning hours. And I'm going to give you a view of that in just a moment. First, we'll get through this here. You've got the severe weather look going in today. That's why we have the alert day that's happening. We also have this coming in. We've got some early morning light scattered showers. We've had some small hail associated with that up along I-94. By the mid and late morning hours, we've got showers coming in, storm activity. They are going to be severe, but they're going to be a lesser brand of severe than what we'll experience later on tonight. We'll also hold on to the noon, going into the noon to 4 p.m. We've got chances showers, not much occurring during the afternoon. However, don't let your guard down because it's like a big bucket that's over spilling with water in it. It could just kind of dump right on top of us, and the storms could occur, and they would be severe if they did. We get into the evening hours, say just around 7 o'clock, all the way into the 9 o'clock hour and enhancing all the way into the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hour and midnight. That's going to happen as well tonight as well. So let's get into it. You see the big break here, or at least a big dot on top of us. That is a moderate risk of severe weather all around the region here, holding on to the possibility of getting into this threat. So you've got this coming in. You see it. This is what's coming in right now, holding on to the light stuff over Black River Falls and Eau Claire. This is what I've been talking about for the 8 o'clock hour for this morning, going into the mid-morning to late morning hours. This is what's coming our way. And as we get into it, we'll see that come by, eventually kind of swipe us and then get out of the way. We get back into another slow break going through the afternoon and then come back with the evening when this thing wraps around and gets on top of us. We'll also hold on to the possibility of this coming in. You can see the light stuff getting in and out. More of that kind of moves all the way up to the north by the time we get in the late morning hours. That's what I was just showing you. That's what that is right now. This model is saying it's going way to the north. The other model is saying, yeah, maybe it's going to be coming our way. And this is what's coming in later on by the time we get in the 7 o'clock hour at night, in the evening hours, I should say, and then finishing out. This continues to drive right on top of us, going through your evening commute, some of which is all the way moving up northward out of the region. So that's a look at your forecast right now. Temperatures today, the currents, we're looking at 50s and 60s, 70s expected to near 80 degrees later on today. Back to you.
In your morning consumer news, a federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's move to strip unions of key power. The executive order aimed to remove collective bargaining rights from federal workers with national security roles. Without those rights, unions would lose their ability to negotiate working conditions. Martinelli's has recalled more than 7,000 cases of apple juice, citing concerns over toxic substance contamination. According to the FDA, the impacted cases might be contaminated with patulin, a poisonous substance produced by certain molds, which are often found in rotting apples. The infected bottles were distributed in 28 states, including here in Wisconsin. The affected apple juice has a best buy date of December 5th, 2026. 16 Jo-Ann Fabric stores will be closing this week in Wisconsin. The remaining stores will shut down next month. The company filed for bankruptcy last January for the second time in 11 months. Electric vehicles are growing in popularity, but finding a place to charge them can be difficult depending where you live. States are trying to build out their EV infrastructure, but some roadblocks are slowing that progress, as Natalie Brand reports.
Andy Fraser is so committed to driving electric, he pushed Montgomery County, Maryland to come up with a policy for home chargers on public sidewalks, like the one in front of his house.
There's no going back right now. The faster we get there, the better it is for the planet.
Fraser occasionally even lets friends and neighbors charge at his home while the infrastructure catches up.
What we're doing is we're driving to a level 3 charging station.
Nationwide, an estimated 6 in 10 urban residents live within a mile of a public charging station, but that number drops to around 41% of suburbanites and just 17% of rural Americans. How long before you think that charging an electric vehicle will be like, you know, a regular gasoline vehicle?
We're still not there, but we're growing rapidly on the demand side.
Joe McAndrew is an assistant secretary of Maryland's Department of Transportation. Maryland ranks in the top 10 of the most EV-friendly states according to a 2023 survey, with Vermont, California, Massachusetts, and Colorado leading the way. The bipartisan infrastructure bill passed under the Biden administration provided around $7.5 billion to build high-speed chargers at least every 50 miles. But the Trump administration has for now paused future funding for states, saying the program needs major reform.
It might slow us down, but we're also pretty confident that the funds will show up.
Fraser, an EV enthusiast, concedes driving one can take more planning.
There are great apps out there. They'll tell you where to stop all the way along the road, but it's not as convenient as a gas car.
A fact the electric vehicle community and state leaders hope to change as they accelerate the fight against climate change.
That was a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got an update on our forecast.
Man, I tell you what, taking a look outside right now, Eau Claire looks almost drier than my mouth is right now. I tell you what, it is just bone dry out there. Not much happening, even with the radar saying, yeah, there's something happening up there. But you can see the clouds out in the distance, and that's what's showing up right now on the radar. We'll get into it right now. 54 degrees out there. Feels like it's 55 degrees. Yeah, we're warming up. We'll get into areas by Black River Falls. There it is right there, showing you not much happening. But it is 51 degrees. Feels like 53 degrees out there. So warmer air is coming in. We've got a warm front associated with this kind of tracking coming up from the our south and continues to lift into the region. As that happens, well, we've got that coming in with another line that's still bringing in the severe weather. That's all that big yellow I showed you earlier working in our forecast. We get to on Alaska, not much happening there. Near Toma, folks going back to Shelby that way, folks going to Toma that way. That's what's happening out there right now. Not much on the roadways except cars. No rainfall. Taking it all the way down to Dubuque just to show you what's really happening down towards our near south. We're holding on to the possibility of still drier conditions and not much really those clouds getting lower to the ground. 60s and some 70s expected today. We get up to near 80 degrees, possibly by Boscobel, holding on to the potential for that by Lansing as well, and Black and areas right by Prairie du Chien. We're looking at storm activity that's coming in under cloudy skies. These clouds will continue to increase as we go through the morning hours. As we go through the mid-morning and late morning hours, this is what's coming our way, and that's what I want you to be careful for. You're seeing the big bulk of that with the bow associated with that as well. That could bring in some damaging winds associated with that. that, we can see winds up to 55+ miles per hour working through the area, and that continues to stretch. Still hasn't crossed the Mississippi yet, but it does by the time we get in the 10 o'clock hour, stretching into Black River Falls, all the way down back into Preston as well as Decorah. That still continues to lift up to the north, and as it continues to collapse on itself, Black River Falls, you've got Eau Claire mixed in that, Ladysmith, so don't let your guards down as we go into it this early morning. As we see all the way down to La Crosse as well, potential for heavy rainfall in the forecast there, and of course we could see some hail associated with that as well, working out of the region as we finish out going into the noon hour. We take a break, come back with a little bit of light stuff down to the south as we go into the 1 o'clock hour, 2 o'clock hour near Viroqua, and then up and that goes. Lighter bands come in with the stronger bats coming in the evening hours. You can see going through the evening commute, that starts to come in, breaks apart as it crosses the Mississippi by Black River Falls, over by Eau Claire as well, back down. So it's along I-94, stretching back down to I-90, continues on all the way to the 9 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock hour as well, with the heavy stuff dragging across, heading right for La Crosse. Boom, right on top of us as we go in the 10 o'clock hour, finishing out all the way through as we go right into the 11 o'clock hour. So that's an hour of potentially severe weather right on top of La Crosse and Sparta as we finish out the evening hours. By the time we go right back, I should say the late night hours, finishing out by the midnight hour, it's still over Vogue Field and it's out of the region, it's done. The winds coming out of the south to start this early morning, then eventually they'll gradually turn a little bit, going from the southwest to south, working through our area, getting up to 30 miles per hour plus in some cases. These are the gusts, but we may see stronger wind gusts coming back in as we go deeper into the evening hours. Those winds with all that purple could be showing us a little bit of wind, as I told you, damaging coming in with 55 miles per hour plus. The rainfall, 1.5 inches all the way up to the north, plus or less. For us, we're looking at maybe 1/10 of an inch or less in the forecast. And once again, as I finish out, just giving you how this all shapes up, going right into it, we've got cooler conditions coming in after a day of near 80-degree heat working through the area today, with 60s and more seasonable weather in the forecast. Wednesday and Thursday, some showers possibly passing through. We take a break, come back again for the weekend, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Get out and enjoy it. Be safe.
Thank you, Art. Still ahead for us, why you might want to sign up for Steppin' Out in Pink today. We'll have all the details coming your way after the morning sports blitz.
Coming up in sports, a recap from the NFL draft, plus the Brewers look to avoid being swept by the Cardinals. That and more coming up in the Morning Blitz.
Get up to 15% off sale prices throughout the store during the spring sale at Home Furniture.
The camper. It has been a reliable companion for your family's good times. But after years of use, it is showing some wear and tear. A broken window from an errant baseball, a couch that your dog allegedly chewed on, and an AC unit that doesn't work like it should. It's time to call Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. We have been improving your family's camper since 1970. Call us today and we will make your camper feel brand new. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. Repair, refinish, remarkable.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Prevent costly repairs with Shell Rotella T4 heavy-duty diesel motor oil. It offers triple protection, helping control wear, deposits, and emissions. Get a gallon for $11.99 after rebate. From hitches to ratchet straps and everything in between, we've got all your hauling needs covered. TowSmart designs and manufactures durable steel towing products that resist rust and corrosion. Get this tri-ball trailer hitch for $24.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
We have a very special bond, I think, as a family. Spectrum is the connecting thread to everything we do.
It provides us with reliability, lightning speeds, and allows us to do what we need to do in our lives.
From school to homework to entertainment, Spectrum's the perfect match for me and my family.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked. And Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning is who you want to call. Prevent the buildup of dust and dirt to keep you and your family breathing healthy, clean air with your trusted, trained comfort specialist. Check out our Google reviews and call 782-0664 today for your AC clean and check. Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning. It's hard to stop a train.
Your trained comfort specialist, Bagnevsky.
The News 8 Plus app. Local news on your time. Many cities in Wisconsin have no laws limiting where sex offenders can live. Tonight at 6, which communities don't and why some say the laws don't go far enough. Tonight at 6. News 8 Now Sports.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Now, going into the draft week, it was estimated 250,000 people would be in Green Bay for the 3-day event, but that quickly turned into 600,000, and everyone we spoke to over the weekend had nothing but great things to say about the draft. As far as the Packers' specific draft picks, let's do a quick recap. In round 2, they got their first-round wide receiver since 2002, Matthew Golden. In round 2, they went offensive lineman with Anthony Belton, then back to wide receiver in round 3, getting Savion Williams. And then on day 3, they finally went defense, getting Barron Sorrell, an edge out of Texas. Next round 5, they took Colin Oliver, a linebacker from Oklahoma State. Round 6, Warren Brinson from Georgia. And in round 7, they got Micah Robinson, a corner from Tulane, and John Williams, a tackle from Cincinnati. They hit just about every need the team had coming into the draft, and Coach Matt LaFleur thinks these were some of the best guys they could have gotten.
We always do a good job of following the board and drafting the best player available, and I think, the opportunity presented itself there, and I don't think that was necessarily the game plan going into it, but I think just the way everything fell, those were the best players. As far as the operation, I can't imagine any NFL draft being better than the one we hosted here. So what a great experience.
After the draft, the Packers invited a few undrafted free agents to their rookie minicamp, including UWL wide receiver Jack Studer. Studer will have a chance to show the team what he's made of sometime in early May. Studer had an outstanding career at UWL, posting over 3,000 receiving yards and scoring 35 career touchdowns. To the baseball diamond, Brewers looking to avoid being swept by the Cardinals, and they had a good start in this one. First inning, and William Contreras singles into left field. Bryce Terang rounds third. He comes in to score. Brewers strike first. Very next batter, Sal Frelick looking to stay hot as he goes back up the middle. Yelich touches home. Milwaukee goes up 2. Still in the first, and the hits keep coming. This time, Rhys Hoskins singles into right. 3 straight singles puts the Brewers up 3. Hey, let's go to the 4th inning. Now 5-0 Milwaukee, and Christian Yelich gives us another one. They had 7 runs on 6 singles as the Brewers avoid the sweep. They get the win 7-1. Twins going for their sweep of the Angels, up 1 in the 6th, but with 2 runners on. Ty France finds the gap in left field. That's going to score a run. Minnesota goes up 2. Then a few batters later, Ryan Jeffers at the plate, and he lines one out to left. Defense can't get to it as it goes off the wall. 2 runs coming to score as the Twins, they win their 3rd in a row, 5-0, the final. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
My husband was struck and killed by a distracted driver. I was numb. Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben was there taking care of all of the legal aspects. The attorneys and all of the staff recognized that this is not just a job, this is people's lives. It was a good choice. It was a really good choice.
The most important value of our law firm is our commitment to our clients. Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben.
Where there's a flooded basement, there's a solution. Where there are wet spots or musty smells, there's an answer. Where wood damage or dry rot is stealing home value, there's an expert. American Waterworks. For wet basements, wood damage, and effects of dry rot, American Waterworks professional crack repair, waterproofing, sump pumps, and vapor barriers provide long-lasting solutions to tough problems. Wherever moisture problems surface, there's an answer. American Waterworks. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
Shop Wisconsin's best deals at Black River Furniture Outlet. Find unbeatable prices on sectionals, big or small, to fit every home. Great savings on Ashley sofas and love seats. Style and comfort at a price you'll love. Check out our wide selection of reclining and power furniture, plus custom options from Best Home Furnishings. Experience top-tier comfort with Catnapper Furniture, where relaxation is key. Black River Furniture Outlet, your upholstery headquarters. Family values, veteran-owned, and no corporate hassle. Open 7 days a week in Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
We would like to thank everyone who voted Dahl Automotive Best of La Crosse County. It means a lot to us to place first in auto service department, new car dealership, as well as voting Randy McDaniel for Best Auto Salesperson. Thank you.
It's time for spring cleaning, and Dahl Auto is here to help. Clean out that old car, and we'll give you an extra $1,000 over book value. Then choose from over 1,200 vehicles and lock in today's prices. Spring cleaning pays at Dahl Auto.
At Knutson Roofing, we know a cheap roof isn't good, and a good roof isn't cheap. When it comes to protecting your home, don't gamble with the bargain bin. Go with the pros you can trust. Knutson Roofing, over 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Choose the best with no regrets. Call 715-ROOFING today and get a $250 Visa gift card with your completed roof.
If nagging, persistent joint pain has upended your life, listen, there's a solution for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics uses a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue in your knees, shoulders, hips, and more. QC Kinetics targets the source of your pain, not just the symptoms. Thousands of patients have experienced life-changing results, and they're right here. Find out if you're a candidate for this game-changing therapy. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation.
First Warn Weather on News 8 Now. Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
You know who's living in your neighborhood. Wisconsin sex offenders live all over the state. The rules governing where they live aren't quite as extensive as you might think. Joining us this morning with a preview of his exclusive story is evening anchor Ken Kozorowski. Hi, Ken. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well, Alexandra.
So tell us a little bit, what got you digging into this? Pretty interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple of anonymous tips from some residents in Black River Falls saying they had noticed an uptick in police notifications in their jurisdiction that sex offenders were about to be placed in their community. And they feared that the city was essentially becoming a dumping ground for sex offenders because they believe their city, Black River Falls, didn't have any restrictive ordinances in their code that govern where offenders can live.
Okay, and I think a lot of people would just kind of assume that there would be state laws covering this,
absolutely.
But
yeah, that
not
was
the
our
case.
first thought as well. But the reality is that what we found here is that state law only does so much. There's kind of a blanket law that really only came into effect around 2016, Scott Walker placing that in, and it says that offenders have to be placed back into the community in the county that they've offended, first of all. And then the restriction here, there's about a 1,500-foot restriction zone around places you might expect. Schools, public parks, places of worship, any youth center, and 1,500 feet, 0.28 miles, which is a decent amount. But other than those restrictive zones, that's pretty much it from the state of Wisconsin. So if you want your community to really go at this topic, with more restrictions or to have like harsher penalties, anything like that, it's really up to either your county to put an ordinance in or your specific town to do that. And what we found is not a lot of towns have actually gone that route. We have about 600, 700 municipalities in the state of Wisconsin. Only 150 of them have actually written their own ordinance to kind of go beyond what state law does.
Okay, wow. So the idea from the concerned residents is if their town doesn't have an ordinance, but those neighboring ones do, they're more likely to maybe receive those offenders. Is
Absolutely.
that right? Okay.
And that was the additional concern from Black River Falls, these anonymous tips that we've gotten, because neighboring towns like the city of Blair have actually instituted a harsher ordinance as of January of this year. So the thought is that towns around them are starting to go to this line of thinking, and that would leave Black River Falls as really the only place where the Department of Corrections could consider placing any of these sexually violent offenders.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, big impact there. We'll be watching for that, and that's coming up tonight, right, Ken?
That's right, at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you so much. In your morning medical news, new research links eating more ultra-processed foods with a higher risk of premature death. Ultra-processed foods are low in whole ingredients, chemically altered, and often packed with synthetic additives. Experts warn our bodies likely can't adapt to these products, which could lead to long-term damage depending how much we consume. It's especially concerning because nearly 70% of all food in U.S. grocery stores is considered ultra-processed. The FDA still deciding whether to grant full approval to Novavax's COVID-19 vaccine. A source says the FDA is asking for additional trial data before it makes a decision. Novavax had expected approval by April 1st, but the new administration is delaying that to review more data. In a statement, Novavax remains confident its application is approvable. The vaccine was granted emergency use authorization in 2022, but full approval could offer added reassurance to those considering the shot. The Wisconsin National Guard hosting a career day this morning for those interested in serving their country and community while also balancing a civilian life. Young adults and high schoolers encouraged to attend, ask some questions about the Guard, while also learning more about the responsibilities and equipment used.
It's definitely a unique experience for them because it's going to give them the ability to ask those questions that they may have that they may not be able to find online. It's soldiers that are performing the jobs that they may be interested in doing themselves.
Meet the Guard runs from 9 to 2 today at the Onalaska Armory. Early bird registration for La Crosse's 20th annual Steppin' Out in Pink is now open. That event, sponsored by the Gunderson Medical Foundation, supports breast cancer research. Registration just $20 through June 27th. After that, it'll jump to $25. Even though the event is not till September 13th, you can sign up now at steppinoutinpink.org to get the best deal. La Crosse's Granny basketball team hosted a charity tournament at Logan Middle School over the weekend. Teams from Viroqua and Iowa competed to raise funds for New Horizons, a local shelter supporting survivors of domestic violence. Admission, tickets, lunch sales, and a silent auction helped benefit the organization's services.
Extra special that we know that what we're doing here today not only provides fun for all of the players, also provides a fun opportunity to see the traditional game of the 1920s for all of the spectators, and then just being able to meet up with the other teams as well. And we do like to be a bit competitive, so that's fun as well.
Granny basketball players all over the age of 50 follow old school rules, including no jumping. We'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett now. He's got an update on our morning commute.
Outstanding. That's the best thing I've seen in such a long time. All right, we'll get into it here. We're holding on today. Mid and late morning hours, we have the possibility of severe weather working in the forecast. This will be a lighter variety of severe weather, not like we're going to anticipate later on tonight. We're also going to see this come back again evening and tonight. We're going to have that as well. We've got damaging winds for the severe weather potential today. Hail, tornado, not out of the question as well because we are in a moderate risk for severe weather across the region. And outside of that is a enhanced risk. So we're pretty much in the bullseye. We'll get into it as we go right through the next couple of days here. This is what's happening for us. First, we get into some light rainfall that's over us right now, kind of moving through the area. It's been light with a little bit of thunderstorm activity, but none of it really is showing that it's been hitting the ground. We'll get into this is what is coming in by the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour this morning. And as this continues to circulate around that area of low pressure, it's going to wrap around, coming back again for the late afternoon, possibly early evening hours through the evening commute and into the evening and tonight, and then quelling down by the time we get into the midnight hour. So that's what's happening. You see more of that coming along as well. We'll hold on to drier conditions down to LA as well and down to the south as you can see it, but we're also going to be getting into this. The timing of all of this showing us at least getting into the early morning hours. We've got that coming in around I-94. That's getting out of the way. Then we hold on to the mid to late morning hours with storms on the way, getting back to storms coming back again tonight. Back to you.
And before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Tatum is turning 8. She loves horseback riding, snuggling with her pets, and playing with friends.
Love her bow. And Marilyn is turning 80. She loves quilting and spending time with her friends and family.
Right on. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com. Look for the Submit Pictures button. You'll find that under the Home tab. And after the break, if you're planning to get active this spring, learn when knee pain is normal and when it could signal something serious on Mindful Monday.
Right now, during Home Furniture's spring sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Get 5, 10, and even 15% off sale prices throughout the store. Plus, pay no interest for up to 5 years on brand name mattresses. Hurry, the spring sale ends Monday at Home Furniture.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Rust-Oleum's Stops Rust 5-in-1 spray paint lets you choose from 5 different spray settings for a professional finish on every project. Get the 5-in-1 spray paint for only $5.78 each after rebate. Transform your garage with rock-solid floor coatings. Complete your project in one weekend. A one-car garage kit covers up to 250 square feet. Right now, just $143.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or get over $5,300 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Pivot. Shut up. Okay, hold on. I don't think it's gonna pivot anymore.
Just like pivoting from heating to cooling season, it's a difficult adjustment. Pivot in the summer, called GNT.
Pivot. Shut up.
Called GNT. For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Choice Privileges makes it easy to earn points and maximize any vacation. You can earn reward nights fast and redeem at over 7,400 hotels. Maximized. Check into more. Join Choice Privileges at choicehotels.com.
It takes a rebel to make something beautiful. Beauty takes courage. It's an act of joy. So resist the ordinary and embrace the wow at Florin Decor.
Find happiness. Find something familiar and new. Find connection. Find culture. Find community. Find yourself at the La Crosse Symphony.
Get your tickets now for Midnight in Paris on May 3rd. Sponsored by TrustPoint at lacrossesymphony.org.
During the spring mattress sale at Home Sleep Express, get up to 10% off sale prices on Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. Get this Aurora Queen or this Jewel Pillow Top Queen, your choice for just $8.99. The spring mattress sale, now at Home Sleep Express.
Well, good morning to you. As we get into it here, let's take a look at what's going on. Temperatures today, yeah, we have some 70s working in the forecast for you, maybe even 80 degrees. Wipe that away. You see it right there, 80 degrees down by Bosco, possibly. Maybe even Prairie du Chien there at 79 degrees. La Crosse at 78 degrees. Eau Claire at 75. Where's the rainfall? Where's the threat? Well, it's coming. You can see it, some of it kind of moving a little bit closer toward Minneapolis. It's working its way into the forecast there. Slowly but surely we get it coming into the 9 o'clock hour into our area, crossing the Mississippi River, and there we go. A nice little bow echo associated with that too, kind of moving in. Potential for damaging winds, not out of the question. This is a lighter brand of severe weather that's coming in for this morning, not like we're going to experience later on tonight where these storms will really start to degenerate. We're also holding on to Ladysmith down to Eau Claire, holding on down back to Winona and back over to Preston. Then it starts to kick over going towards Black River Falls. Still heavy up along I-94, getting back down to areas along I-90. You can see that getting in. La Crosse is mixing in that. 10 o'clock or so to the 11 o'clock hour. Bump it a little bit more so you can see it all the way to 11 o'clock hour. That's sticking around. So that's almost an hour of rainfall continuing out of the area as we go right into the noon hour. Lighter stuff comes in, so we're not like done. You're just going to see the lighter stuff coming through. Another batch comes in, swipes down by Decorah as well as Prairie du Chien down into Viroqua with some light to moderate activity there. We have to keep an eye on that one as well. That's a wayward one, so we have to see how that plays out. Then we get into the evening commute. We have some light stuff getting on the ground, maybe putting some wet on the roadways, maybe not because it's very light. Then we get back into it. We have this coming in, crossing the Mississippi River, starting up to the north along I-94, back down to the south as you get into Black River Falls. La Crosse is in that mix as well. This storm is beginning to lean back down now, and as it does, it's bringing some heavy rainfall coming out of the southwest, working into the forecast here for us as well. So technically it's southwest and coming out of the south. You can see with that wind. And this thing is kind of spinning a little bit as well, kind of working its way into the area where we could see the potential for severe weather. The major threat today is all about the hail. Then we also have potential for tornadic activity as well. Then the possibility, of course, the damaging winds associated with that as well, where those winds will be fairly strong. You see these winds coming in, holding on for the morning hours in the 20s and the near 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts popping in. You see that's the light stuff, but as you look coming in from the west, heavier or stronger winds are going to be kicking into the forecast, and that eventually will come into the evening. I'm not going to show you that right now because I want to get to this. We're going to hold you to this, up to 1.5 inches up to the north along I-94 by the time we finish out the early morning hours. And then we start to push all this across going into the midnight hour. We're looking at very limited amounts of rainfall, possibly 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch or less in the forecast, maybe a trace even. Then we're holding on up to the north and getting back towards the central portion, I should say. You're looking at maybe 1/2 inch or less, possibly a trace to 1/10 of an inch for La Crosse. That's what's happening as we finish out today, going into highs for Tuesday, 50s, 60s in the forecast. We're talking about low 60s. And of course, as we finish out, that's the rainfall that's out there right now, taking it into 78 degrees today, cooler as we go in the next couple of days with lighter rainfall on the way.
As spring activities get moving and pick back up, many people are eager to get moving themselves, but they could find themselves limited by knee pain. Joining us for this Mindful Monday discussion is Dr. Randall Norgaard, an orthopedic specialist with Winona Health, to discuss treatment options and prevention. Good morning, Dr. Norgaard. Thanks for being here.
Well, good morning, and thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to come to talk about knee pain.
Yeah, we're excited to hear what you have to say. So just tell us a little bit, why is knee pain such a common problem?
Well, in my opinion, there's 4 things that have led to increased knee pain in America.
Okay.
First of all, I think people in our society are very active, more so than they have been in the past. People are running and jogging and hiking and involved in sports where they really hadn't as much previously. So I think that contributes to increase in knee pain. Also, our occupations that we have in America, construction, farming, shipping and receiving. People are on their feet a lot, and I think that also contributes to stress on the knee.
Okay.
In addition, people are a little overweight sometimes in America, and a few extra pounds can even lead to increased knee pain, even with simple activities like walking upstairs or walking in the community. And also, I think because people are a little deconditioned these days, I think people's knees are a little weaker, their strength is down, and they're a little less flexible than they used to be.
Okay.
So, doctor, tell us, what are some of the most common knee pain injuries, or at least,
what are you seeing in your office?
Oh, sure. So I would say that knee pain itself is very common. People come into the office with complaints of knee pain, and that's quite common. And it comes down to 3 different reasons people have knee pain generally. There's injuries, there's overuse, and there's arthritis. So pretty much 95% of the people fall into those categories.
Okay. And so what about treatment options? What can we do?
Well, first of all, if you have knee pain, don't panic. It's really common to have it.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, if you have knee pain and you're at home, think what they call RICE.
Okay.
Rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Try those things at home for 2 to 3 days. If that doesn't help, then you may want to contact your primary care provider for further evaluation. But pretty much you can do a lot at home. So just conservative treatment at home before you have to go in to see a doctor.
Okay, good to know there. And then, you know, it's been a long winter. We may be a little bit out of practice, like you were saying. Knees are out of use. Any warming up, or what do you recommend for getting back out there?
Well, I think most importantly, start slow.
Okay.
You know, don't get out there and try to walk 10 miles or bike 20 miles or lift weights.
The sun is up, we gotta get it in, right?
We have to get something in, but it's very important to start really slow.
Yeah.
And most people, when they're starting slow, they should try what they call low impact activities, which would be swimming, walking in water, some yoga, some stretching, some gentle walking, maybe a little biking, and then increase their activity level slowly over time.
Okay, and any red flags when maybe, okay, we do need to call our doctor?
Yes, I think what happens if a person's developing pain or dizziness or weakness, that's maybe an indication that they've done too much, and then they should really contact their doctor or an urgent care.
Okay. All right, great to know there. And then preventative measures, anything that, as we are preparing to get more active this spring, we can do to prepare?
Well, like we talked, starting very slow is important. It depends, too, the age of the patient and how much they've done over the winter or whatever. But start very slow, stretching, yoga, walking, maybe a little biking, some gentle strengthening maybe at the club. But really starting slow would be the main thing, and then increase your activity level as you see fit.
All right, so yeah, starting slow to kind of ease back into the season there.
Right.
Okay, good to know. Well, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Well, I appreciate being here, and thank you so much for inviting me.
We appreciate your insights. Thank you so much. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, it's Beg Knows America, and David shows us how an 11-year-old's request to interview the President of the United States changed multiple lives. Plus, actor and comedian Ed Helms joins us to talk about his new book on history's biggest blunders. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Bathroom Remodeling. The Board Store is your one-stop shop for bathroom remodeling. We're a VA-approved provider for veterans as well as meeting the needs of all homeowners. Just replace the tub or shower? We offer acrylic, solid surface and tile, and all the desirable fixtures and accessories. New cabinets, sink, toilet, flooring. It's all here in our showroom. Designers who help you plan provide a clear proposal and a firm price. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians to do it right and on time. Bathroom Remodeling, The Board Store. More than you expect for less than you thought.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
So much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey
to oh my word.
Oh my word. Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes
today a little bit more special. That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Stop into Pischke Motors West Salem or Pischke Motors La Crosse now to get employee pricing for all for a limited time only. Get your favorite Jeep, Ram, Dodge, or Chrysler during their Freedom of Choice pricing program. Employee pricing for all means anyone can get exclusive employee pricing on these new vehicles. This opportunity won't last long, so stop into Pischke Motors now. This offer ends April 30th. Go to Pischke.com, Pischke Motors West Salem, or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
She's always had it. Pure ambition. An unbridled self-confidence that most people only dream of. You see it driving her, empowering her, and in time, you see it fueling her future. Perhaps even helping her blaze a new trail. All she needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities. Unlimited opportunity.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Many cities in Wisconsin have no laws limiting where sex offenders can live. Tonight at 6, which communities don't and why some say the laws don't go far enough. Tonight at 6. It's an easy puzzle to solve. The one app your phone can't live without. Bringing you local news, sports, streaming video, and a lot more. The News 8 Now app. Get it today. Oh, and good job on the puzzle. Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
Welcome back. It is 6:52. Time for your morning news now. We begin with some breaking news within the past hour. According to a Vatican source, Cardinals have chosen May 7th, that is next week, as the date to start the conclave and elect a new leader for 1.4 billion Catholics around the globe. Taking a live look at the Vatican this morning, only Cardinals under the age of 80 are allowed to vote in the papal election. There are currently 135 Cardinals eligible to participate, and that includes Cardinal Raymond Burke of La Crosse. Chaos and carnage, meanwhile, in Vancouver over the weekend, where a speeding SUV plowed into a crowd, killing multiple people, injuring dozens more, where victims gathered at a block party celebrating a Filipino tradition. A 30-year-old man has been arrested. And classes at Menominee High School set to go on as scheduled today. Despite a threatening message posted online over the weekend, a female suspect is accused of posting that threat Friday night. Investigators say she had no weapons or access to any. Officials are confident there's no danger to the school district. The suspect could now face charges, including making terrorist threats and unlawful use of a phone. Coulee Region drivers, a heads up for you. Stage 1 of the Wisconsin State Route 35 project set to begin today. The first stage will close WIS 35 between State Routes 27 and 171 until late October while work is underway. Tomorrow marks 100 days in office for President Trump's second term. A new CBS poll finding his approval rating has dropped 8 points since his inauguration, including lower approval ratings on what's considered one of his strengths, the economy. 53% of Americans say it's getting worse, although 6 in 10 say President Trump is doing what he promised while on the campaign trail. The La Crosse Community Theater transformed into superhero headquarters for a Sidekick audition showdown Saturday. Local performers competed to become the Theaterman's official sidekick, with audience members casting votes for their favorite.
My favorite part is getting to just have fun raising money as Theaterman. I get to show some of my silly side to the community and get to make connections. I get to meet 4 other awesome fundraising teams with the symphony and just get in touch with the community even more.
All proceeds benefit the La Crosse Symphony Orchestra's education programs and the Community Theater's Ultra Star Academy.
As we look at your local weather here, we'll have winds gusting up to 20 to 30 miles per hour. We'll also see as we roll right into it the possibility of damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes. Not out of the question. The first batch of this real rainfall and storm activity comes in around the late morning hours, going the mid-morning hours to late morning hours, finishing out before the noon hour. Then again coming back as we go right into the evening and tonight through your evening commute, and of course finishing out by the midnight hour. That's the light stuff that's happening right now in the forecast. Not much of that is hitting the ground. You see the lightning coming in from the left portion of your screen. That's a big storm that's on the way, and that's going to come in and push a lot of rainfall in the forecast for right now. As we go into it here, we'll see 78 degrees today with mostly widespread 70s, 60s, and 50s tomorrow. A little bit on the mild side as we finish out the rest of the work week, and then warmer as we go into your weekend.
Thank you. And Germany Sunday, 180 competitors faced off in the 64th Finger Hacklen Championship, or finger wrestling. In full Bavarian gear, they hooked their fingers through leather loops and tried to pull their opponents across the table. Dislocated fingers, they say that is common in this sport. Ooh, he just fell right over. A sport with roots in the Alps, but today it's all about technique, not just strength. Next stop is the Bavarian Championships this summer. That looks pretty intense.
That is really intense.
That is not the finger wrestling of my day, the thumb war. Did you ever do
Oh,
thumb
yeah,
wars?
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, but this is quite intense. Well, thank you for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day and keep your eye on the weather. Of course, we'll have that update for you coming up at noon.